it's me Alex. Today I'm doing my September edition of my anti-hauling Things That I Actually Want series. Anti-hauls were popularized by the amazing Kimberly Clark on YouTube, and they're basically a way of kind of talking yourself out of the cycle of the buy everything consumeristic mindset that is really rampant on the YouTube and also just like in the majority of capitalist nations. All of this is stuff that I actually want and I'm trying to talk myself out of. I've been doing this series all year because I find that it genuinely helps me decide on products that I do genuinely want and which ones, you know, probably wouldn't actually be a good fit for my collection. This is not a guarantee that I won't buy some of the things on this list, but it is helping me talk myself out of some of them. I think that might be it for the introduction, so let's just get into it. First thing that I need to anti-haul is the entire Fenty Beauty fall collection. And I need to anti-haul it because it is everything that I've ever wanted. So there are two of their mini Snap Shadows palettes. One is burgundy toned and the other one is lots of little greens. It also comes with a mini burgundy or mini green mascara, and then a burgundy Stunna lip paint. And I've only used complexion products from Fenty Beauty. I've heard mixed reviews on their shadows, and as someone who's a little bit of an indie connoisseur, I'm always skeptical of a lot of mainstream brands doing eyeshadows just because I've had very nice and pigmented and creamy shadows from indie brands and I'm like, you know, something I buy at Sephora might not be as good as what I buy from there. But what is truly getting to me are those mascaras, and I have owned a burgundy mascara. I do have it upstairs. It might be a little bit dried out. Last fall I got one of the ColourPop BFF mascaras in one of their like burgundy winey tones. I also got a purple one from there, but the burgundy one definitely shows up a lot better than the purple one. I like how burgundy mascara looks on myself, and Fenty Beauty is a brand that I would support a lot more than ColourPop. So in terms of the eyeshadow palettes, I know that as much as I want them, they're probably not going to be the same quality, the same pigmentation as a lot of indie brands that I'm used to, and I really haven't seen a lot of people review them. So as much as I want them, I recognize that I have a lot of green and burgundy eyeshadows already in my collection that I really love. What's coming to mind are the Igneous Cosmetics palettes, their little Go Green collection that they did last summer, and those are really beautiful and pigmented, really pigmented, like scary pigmented. I think like between that and like my ColourPop X's and O's palette, I do have Modern Renaissance from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Even those are brands that I don't really support anymore. I do own those palettes and I do use them pretty often. So I don't necessarily think I need the eyeshadow. I'm trying not to buy any more lipsticks because as much as I really love lipstick, and I am actually like, I think a lot about lipstick right now. I don't know why, like I'm pretty good in terms of eyeshadow, but lipstick is for some reason being my thing, like in my brain. Even though, you know, we're all wearing masks right now, so there really truly is no point to wearing a lipstick. So I think that since I haven't used a Stunna lip paint formula anyway, and I kind of, if I want to wear lipstick under a mask, I want it to be really comfortable, so I don't really go for a lot of liquid lipsticks when I do kind of choose to do that. I don't think I need the lip paint. Now, the mascaras I think are the hardest part for me to talk myself out of, not just because they're colorful, but because they also come in a mini, and I think if you're going to do a colorful mascara, a mini is probably definitely the best way to do it. But I already have a burgundy mascara that I haven't used in a long time, and I think while that and an olive green mascara could look really cool, given the fact that I've only really been using black mascara even after I got the burgundy one and the purple one that I own, I think I probably won't get nearly as much use out of it to justify the price for buying a high-end colorful mascara. So that's what I'm telling myself to keep myself from buying it. Okay, so there's a couple of things from Urban Decay that I need to anti-haul. Firstly is their Stone Vibes palette, and this normally wouldn't be something up my alley, but I have heard really wonderful things about the quality of the shimmers in there. And I desperately want Urban Decay to release something that I love, because Urban Decay was one of the brands that really just got me into makeup, and the Stone Vibes palette kind of takes me back to that because there's a lot of really beautiful smoky shimmers in there and I really want to like it. My worry is when I get it, would I even use it enough? Because while the shimmers look beautiful, there's only 4 mattes in the palette, and one of those mattes is more of like a shimmery satin type sort of situation. So I know that I would almost definitely have to use that in conjunction with other palettes. I think that from a brand like Urban Decay, as cool as the shadows might be, because I do really love Urban Decay's shimmer formula, all of the shimmers and glitters that they've done I think are really, really fantastic. I don't think I can justify buying a majority shimmer palette when I know that I'm going to need to bring in another palette, and that'll probably make me use it less, is what I'm trying to say. And then on that same Trend Mood post that had the original like post of the Stone Vibes palette, they also teased a sort of tinted moisturizer type situation, and I've actually kind of been wanting to try more complexion products recently. Y'all know that I absolutely stan the NYX Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil. That is my holy grail. I've been using that and only that for about the past year or so. I don't really like full coverage foundations on myself anymore. Ever since my skin's been dry, I've tried a whole bunch of full coverage ones, and they just really didn't vibe with my skin, so I stopped wearing foundation altogether, and then I just got back into like tinted moisturizers, and I think that that is a good balance for what I want on my skin. So Urban Decay is releasing that. I'm conflicted as to whether or not I should get it, because I feel like I'd probably like it, and I think the reason that I would even want to try it is because of the part of me that wants a Stone Vibes palette, because I want something from Urban Decay to be really good in 2020. You know, to be something that I would personally consider a holy grail, because that's what Urban Decay was to me when I first got into makeup. However, it's really hard for me to justify buying a high-end foundation or base product when I can get this for, I think, 13 bucks, which I think is a very good price for a base product, especially since, you know, I like to invest in, I don't like using the word of it, but I like to invest in eyeshadow palettes because they're something that I won't go through quickly, that I can use for a long time. But when I'm going to be buying something over and over, I really do prefer for it to be drugstore, because imagine if I go through this in a month. That means I'll be spending $13 every month. But if I got like a $35 tinted moisturizer, I would be spending $35 every month instead of $13. I desperately want to try that, but I don't want to fall in love with it, you know, so that way I don't have to spend a whole lot of money all the time, you know. I want to try it, and I want to love it, but I don't want to love it that much. Speaking of tinted moisturizers and base products, I need to anti-haul Rare Beauty for the moment, for similar reasons to why I don't want to buy the Urban Decay Tinted Moisturizer. Well, why I don't want to buy the Urban Decay Tinted Moisturizer. I really like what Selena Gomez is doing with that line. I think that she has a really good range of products, and the way that she is doing kind of her complexion range is pulling at me very, very hard, because that, like, the tinted sort of light coverage foundation plus cream blushes is exactly what I've been going for, but I kind of don't want to fall in love with that in the same way that I don't want to fall in love with any sort of high-end tinted moisturizer. I want to like it, but I don't want to fall in love with it so that way it's my holy grail and I keep buying it over and over and over and over and spending more money. I'm also a little bit scared of the blushes from there because I really want to like them, but from a lot of people that I'm seeing, they're very, very pigmented. I did an entire video earlier this year on blushes for people who are afraid of blush, because guess what? This bitch is afraid of blush. Since I do like a light coverage foundation, I do notice that sometimes when I wear a bolder blush, it will kind of enhance the redness that I have going on in my cheeks. So I generally tend to stick to more neutral, nudie type blushes that you can really build up instead of things with a lot of heavy pigmentation. In a way, if I bought the Rare Beauty blushes, that would kind of be me buying it for my ideal self. The part of me who wants to be really bold and cool and wear it's like blush all over her face, you know, instead of just concentrating it to my cheekbones and just like this little area like I do. Like, I want to try it and I want to love it, but I'm also scared of not loving it because I've seen some of the shit that's gone down on Twitter, and I don't believe in harassing people for not liking makeup. Like, even if someone disagrees with you, even if someone is actively mean to you, there are certain things that you shouldn't say to people, and that I really wish wouldn't happen as much. It kind of reminds me of when Fenty first came out and there were diehard stans going hard for the brand, which is fine because I think it's fine to really, really like something, but I think it's not fine when you start hurting and harassing other people over it. And I understand, you know, liking something that much. I am very much a nerd when it comes to a lot of things. I was bullied for it a lot, well, that and many other reasons when I was in high school. But I do not think that that is ever okay, and I really wish that wasn't happening, because that's also one of the things that's kind of putting me off from trying the brand, is because I want to like it, but I'm scared of what'll happen if I don't like it. So I think it might be one of those things that I will try a little bit down the line when the hype dies down a little bit, because I ended up trying Fenty Beauty. I mean, granted it was this summer, just because, you know, I didn't really want a matte full coverage foundation at the time that it released stuff like, and the highlighters didn't quite appeal to me. It took a while for there to be a product that I was like really, really interested, is what I'm trying to say. And so I feel like I'm gonna try Rare Beauty eventually, but I really just kind of want to wait for the hype to die down. That way I can kind of try it without so much stress and anxiety from what I'm seeing right now. Will I get flamed in the comments? Maybe. Ooh, here's one that I'm having a hard time with. So Melt released some really beautiful honeycomb blushes, and I own one of their Digital Dust highlighters in Morningstar, and I think it is absolutely fabulous. I love that formula, and it seems like these blushes are in a very, very similar sort of shimmery, glowy formula. And the packaging is fantastic. There's really beautiful embossing, and I just love bees. I feel like bees are really great. Bees are the bee's knees, if you will. Well, one, I don't need a lot more blushes at the moment. I kind of want to get through some of the face products that I already have, and I also don't own a lot of high-end cheek products, simply because I feel like you can kind of get the same thing at the drugstore, so it would be a pretty big investment. It would be a pretty big investment. It would be a pretty big investment for me to go buy a high-end cheek product right now, because that's not something that I always feel compelled to spend a whole lot of money on. And the other thing that's kind of getting me is they come in these duos, which I think look really pretty in the packaging, but I can't quite tell if there's one that would actually really work for my skin tone, because it seems like each individual one has like one that would really work for my skin tone and one that would look really awful on me. So either like I want to see a little bit more swatches, a little bit more reviews, because maybe like just in the promo photos they look a little bit different than they do in real life, but I don't want to buy something that I can only really use half of, if that makes sense. So I really want to try those because I love Melt's face product formula, but I don't think the colors are just right for me, and I don't want to buy something that doesn't entirely work for me. That is not where I'm at with my makeup collection right now. Okay, let's talk about this BH Cosmetics Halloween collection. I love a good Halloween collection. Let me pull this up on Trend Mood so I can get the names exactly right though, because the names are what I'm mad about. So I think these color schemes are actually really great. It has like one big palette, one mini palette, and a brush set. And I love BH Cosmetics' eyeshadows and brushes. Those are two things that I think they do really, really well. The names are what's putting me off from buying this, because I would absolutely be all over this if it weren't for the names. So the two palettes are called the Full On Crazy and the Little Bit Psycho palette. As someone who suffers from a few mental illnesses, I won't say what they are because I don't think it's my job to disclose my mental illnesses to the entire internet. I have a lot of trouble with the words crazy and psycho. And I'm also a horror lover, and I also have a lot of trouble with the way a lot of mental illnesses are portrayed as villains in horror movies, and I understand from experiencing it firsthand that having a mental illness can be very scary. I don't want that to be cheapened or commercialized or sensationalized by a makeup company, and BH Cosmetics did a very good job of putting me off of them as a brand for now with that collection, just because using terms like crazy and psycho can really diminish the humanity of people experiencing mental illness, and that is not something that I ever wish to do. I definitely, I think that since the world that we live in, we do use terms like crazy, psycho, idiot, stuff like that pretty casually in conversation, and that's something that I have been working to get out of my vocabulary. I understand that it's not something that has the same gravity for everyone, but the more I kind of think about it on my own, I don't think that in order to do a good awesome Halloween collection, you needed to name it something like that. You don't need to further stigmatize mental illnesses by naming an eyeshadow palette full on crazy and or a little bit psycho. I think that there are so many other really awesome Halloween themed names that you could go for that just was completely unnecessary. I just don't think that was necessary, and I recognize that this is so common in our language that BH Cosmetics probably, you know, when they were going through the process, they probably didn't even think about it too much because it is so easy for us to say that. Those are words that come up pretty easily in conversation. They're not as stigmatized as other words are referring to mental illnesses. So I understand how they could have come to that conclusion. However, I fully disagree with making a collection like that, especially when I think the product itself looks really awesome. And I think they probably made something that's really cool, really good quality, but I think it's gonna put a lot of people off, myself included, just by making names like that. So I'm not gonna buy anything that stigmatizes mental illness this holiday season, shall we? Okay, so unproblematic holiday collection. I got a anti-haul that is the Marc Jacobs Cherry Holiday Collection. Do I want this for the packaging only? Yes. Is that why I need to not get it? Yes. I've never tried anything from Marc Jacobs before. I've heard amazing things about their eyeliners. I have like swatched them in Sephora before the plague happened, and I'm not gonna lie, that the eyeliners look pretty damn good, and if they weren't so damn expensive, I would have absolutely bought one of them. So I have no doubt in my mind that Marc Jacobs makes really good quality makeup, so I don't think that that is going to be the issue of it. The packaging is so cute. It has like mint green with cherries on it, and I think that's absolutely adorable. I think that's a really fun twist on sort of like holiday collection. But the eyeshadow palette, it's all colors that I would use absolutely. It's like very cherry tone neutrals, and those are actually the only sort of neutrals that I go for when I'm doing my makeup. But I genuinely don't need to spend that much money on that. I have the NYX Ultimate Warm Neutrals palette. I have the ColourPop X's and O's palette. I don't need that. I also have looked at the highlighter, and it kind of leans in the direction of a highlighter that I would like, because I do prefer a more neutral highlighter, but it's gigantic, and I am a little bit nervous since we can't go and swatch things in person. I've looked up different swatches, and some of it looks like it could be just the right shade. Others kind of look like it could be too dark for me, and I don't want to put that amount of money into something that I can't see in person right now that would be too dark for me, so I don't want to get that. And then there's like a lipstick there, which, as I said before, I'm not buying lipstick right now because that's a little bit useless at the moment, especially when you own as much lipstick as I do. So I really am I think it's just because I like the packaging a lot. The packaging is so cute. I think Marc Jacobs makes very good packaged things, and I don't doubt that the quality is good. Like I said, I've never tried Marc Jacobs before, but I would actually be interested in trying them, and I wanted this to be like the thing that I could try, because then I could have like, hey, cute packaging and really good quality. But it doesn't seem like I'm gonna be doing that. I can't justify that amount of money on something that I would only get minimal use out of, no matter how cute it is right now. Maybe when I'm a millionaire before the guillotine comes for me. Okay, the last thing I got an anti-haul. Huda Beauty is releasing some really cute little Haze Obsessions palette. There's one that's like neutral, one that is like a khaki olivey green, which almost got me, but what is really getting to me is a purple Haze Obsessions, of course, because Alex, your favorite color is purple. Why am I talking to myself in the third person? I don't know. I'm tired. It is a Sunday afternoon. I just woke up from a nap. But the purple Haze Obsessions looks really cute. It kind of goes with the shirt that I'm wearing. A lot of like more muted purple tones. It's like very smoky, and I think it has a good combination of neutrals and purples. I just need to tell myself that I have enough purple eyeshadow since I'm a purple eyeshadow connoisseur. Purple is my favorite color. It's definitely my favorite eyeshadow color, so I really truly do not need yet another purple palette. But I do have 3 of the Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes. I have the Sapphire, Amethyst, and Neon Pink Obsessions, and I really like the quality of all of them. If that one's the same quality as those, I'm having a hard time talking myself out of it. Like, I want to say that I want to buy it because, like, well, it's cheap for Huda Beauty. It's not like it's one of her full-size personalized palettes or one of her, I don't know, other luxury things that I'm not gonna buy from her. It's like one of her little mini itty bitty palettes. It's like inexpensive, but I have enough purple eyeshadow to last me this lifetime, my next reincarnation, and the reincarnation after that until I finally reach heaven, nirvana, the final astral plane, whatever. Like, that is how long the amount of purple eyeshadow that I own will last me. Like, literally, when I die, I will walk up to St. Peter at the pearly gates and he'll be like, hey, you got some more purple eyeshadow? And be like, yeah, here, would you like some? And that's how I will get into heaven. So do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yeah. Okay, so I've been talking enough for this. Thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know what you need to anti-haul for yourself this month down below. Let me know if you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me, and I will see y'all in my next one, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye!